Okay, so we're in Auckland and it's picking up back where we left off last week. It's time for the cocktail party. And the guys are all in good spirits. They're like, it's the first time it's been drama free in a minute. Meanwhile, Jen is outside pacing, wearing a terrible gown.
I love this gown, and I knew it was going to be controversial that I love this gown. Yeah,
I hated it. It really gave to me like 2006 prom.
It was.
It was.
It was.
It was terrible.
I enjoyed it though. I don't know why.
I don't know why either. But yeah, she is pacing up and down. She's debating about whether she should let Matt join the cast. They replay his whole "I love you, I'm ready to get engaged." Her infamous Matthew. Yeah. And then the host, who stole Tasha's job, comes in and tells Jen, Matthew flew himself out here on his own. That's a big romantic gesture. What do you think?
Oh my God. The gaslighting.
The gaslighting. Please. And Jen said, she revealed, she's like, I've never had someone say I love you. Which is wild because she's been in multiple relationships, it seems.
Yeah.
Sounds like. So that was the first time she heard someone say, I love you. And she's like, it did feel nice. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
So now she's like very obviously confused as to what the fuck to do. So Jen comes into the guys, shares with them that her ex is here, professed his love, wants to join the process. And she's like, all right, well, I'm going to go talk to him. And then like awkwardly shuffles away. I think all the guys are like, what the fuck is happening? And a lot of them don't seem very happy. They obviously talking about how this is an unfair advantage. And then, as we said before, there's a lot of guys that are kind of like plateaued in terms of their connection. Austin, the Mullet guy, Grant, Dylan, some of these guys who haven't got one-on-one dates. And I'm like, what? Her fucking ex is here? This is ridiculous. Austin thinks it's whack. Says it multiple times. This is whack. This is corny, he said. He said whack like 4 times.
Oh, Austin.
He said if he lets her or she lets him stay, this is so whack. It had no bones about how he felt about the whole situation.
Yeah.
So Jen and Matt sit and chat, and her first question is like, this is great. I'm really touched. Yada yada. Why now? Like, what are you doing here now? And you could tell it's just like last ditch effort. He was like, it's now or never.
Oh my God.
You're going to get engaged. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's now or never. You're going to come back engaged. This is my one shot, And then keeps insinuating to like, he said something like, finding ourselves coming back together. I just saw things in our relationship that made me feel deeper. Almost like they dated, went their separate ways, and then very recently have been hanging out together as friends.
Yeah. What do you mean, find ourselves together?
Come together. Like, you know what I mean?
Matthew.
I think we said Matthew. I think we said last week the energy Jen was giving was like, when she's drunk out and needs an Uber home, this is who she calls, right? So that he's just riding on that, like,
I know
that's giving him life. That's giving him like a hope. And she's so checked out, like, no, Matthew, like, I just call you when I need something.
He also, I'm trying to find it on my TikTok, but I can't find it. Somebody knows and put it down below, please, because I just can't find it live on the air right now. He has a TikTok with like 60,000 followers where he does like food reviews around Boston. So he, too, is looking for a bit of a come up.
Oh.
Yep.
No way.
That's what I mean. Like, if it walks like a duck and it's talking like a duck.
I mean,
you know what I mean? Like,
oh, please.
Which I can't even imagine. Like, if my ex was on TV and he was on The Bachelor, I can't imagine being like, crunch, sit tight, and then book a flight and like
gotta go promote
Fiji and like
gotta go promote 2 black girls, 1 rose. I can't imagine. Some people are like that though. Like, they're very opportunistic.
Yes.
They see the opportunity and they're like, this is my chance now or never. Like,
to be Boston's #1 food TikToker.
What? Matthew. Oh, God. Are you serious?
I'm dead ass.
That is so unfortunate.
Isn't it?
She sniffed it out. I'm so happy now.
I know. Well, she probably knew what's happening. She's probably like, oh my God, you guys, ew, don't look at Matthew's thing. He just drives me home.
Literally, stop. Jeez. So yeah, she tells him, you're an important person to me. And then he tries this whole, when we were trying things out, like we weren't the adults we are today.
What?
Wasn't this like 2 years ago? What are you talking about?
And aren't you 26 now?
So 24 to 20, like what are you talking about? Like we're teenagers when you dated, and now it's like a world of difference. I can't. So Jen, she's just like very confused, right? Now Pete Davidson and Grant are speaking, and Pete is not with the bullshit.
Pete's code switching is
you be talking about what's his face, Hot Sam. Pete is another culprit of this black scent that comes all the way out.
But you can't swerve.
I was like, do you not think that Grant understands regular English?
Vernacular? Like, what are we trying to make him understand you or something? Like, what are we?
Or are you trying to make him seem like he definitely feels like excited that Grant's talking to him for sure. I'd be excited, Grant's tall and handsome.
Tall and handsome, yeah.
And was a basketball player. He definitely wants to think, I'm cool.
Aligns with, Grant's cool.
Yeah.
So, P is just not happy. I also feel like Jen needed to tell the guys, I don't know if she did, that this isn't her toxic ex. That was one of the first things I needed her to tell me.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this is like a harmless ex. All right, bet. So I think some of them in their head, they're like, the fuck? She's going to bring back the toxic ex she can't shut up about into the show? Like, what are we talking about? So that was the energy that he was giving. And Pete's livid. He's like, if she lets him back, I'm leaving. This rose doesn't mean anything.
These statements that he makes.
It was a lot.
Oh my God. He's so much.
I also said
annoying.
He was cheated on before, and this is like triggering for him or something.
We never knew about that before.
That's new, right? We didn't know that.
That's brand new.
Yeah. Grant kind of tries to like talk him off the ledge, like trust Jen, we'll be fine. Then the guys all gather back around. In walks Matthew,
crooked bow tie and all.
Oh, did he? I didn't see the cock to the side. He tells the guys, look, I came here on my own volition. I flew myself out. She told me that her future is in this room, and I just wish you all the best. Didn't mean to steal from your experience. Very well said, very concise, very kind. That was fine.
Yeah.
Why Hot Sam needs to talk about opportunistic.
Oh my God.
Snatch that opportunity to shade the man for no reason.
None. He just wanted, I think he's even thinking about the previews.
Yeah.
Like he thinks about every shot he's going to be in.
Matthew, yeah.
Oof.
But it seemed genuine, nice, kind. Yeah. Like it didn't steal time really. It was happened at the top of the cocktail hour. Like, Hot Sam, well, I'm glad you're going to stay in the past, dude. Just shut up. If you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing. Just sit there in silence like everybody else. He just always has to say something, and it has to be rude.
Yes. When he said, I just want to say something right here, I wrote, why? Why would you, in all caps? Why would you write this?
Why?
Like, what are you talking about? He always has to speak for himself and then the group. Like, he's just always yapping.
Ooh. It's totally unnecessary.
Yeah.
Matt heads out, and all the guys just feel good, very validated that Jen is still that bitch, that she made the right decision.
Yeah.
Time for the rose ceremony. Sam, Marcus, and Pete Davidson all have roses already, I think. First rose goes to Grant. This terrible faux hawk.
Oh my God, I saw it now from atop during this episode, and I was like, oh no.
It is bad from all angles. I don't know why. He didn't start off with this haircut. Someone gave him this haircut.
Yeah.
Or he cut it himself. Either way, you or somebody gave you the ill setup.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
You look terrible. Why? I can't. It's such a distraction for me now. I can't. So bad. Anyways, Old Man River gets a rose. Spencer's still here.
Spencer's still here. We love Spencer.
We do. Dylan got a rose.
Yep.
Jonathan got a rose. And then the last rose went to Austin.
Yep.
So we do have to say goodbye to two POCs.
Wow.
John, who I still don't know what his voice sounds like.
I know, but I love him.
We love him.
John for Bachelor.
Tall black man. Bachelor. Please. Tall black man. He's a medical student, right? So gotta love, gotta support. And then Thomas. Lord Thomas.
He lasted a while for his personality.
He did last a minute. And then I don't know if you saw, one of his ex-girlfriends came out on TikTok, was talking about him.
I saw that and I watched that. She said nothing.
Oh, really?
She said nothing. I was like, what's the point of doing this? She was like trying to expose him. And I was like, where's the story?
So basically he has an ex and that was it.
I mean, she's trying to say he's like toxic. He shouldn't be on TV. He shouldn't be trying to find love. He shouldn't do this. He shouldn't do that. Why?
But wasn't giving any receipts.
Never got the answer.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
Yeah. So, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong in the Patreon comments. I did not hear anything that she said.
But yeah, Thomas, yeah, just not a good use of time here.
No,
not a good use of time.
All. The way he dapped Sam up, Sam was like, "Oh, you got to go purchase them short microphones, boy."
I know. I'll see you on the other side. Yep. Keep the main thing, whatever the fuck that podcast is gonna be called. I can't. Oh Lord. Anyways, next day, Jen is off having coffee with the host. They're showing the host a lot. They're putting him more to work.
This is how producers, you're listening. You're taking our advice for the free. You're welcome.
Make this man work for his check, please. Because I feel like during Tasia and Caitlin's seasons, they was working. They had to go do these little sit downs with Katie, walks. Yes, they were working. So I'm not mad at seeing the host having coffee, asking questions, doing something. Shit. Anyways, the guys are all sitting around. Date card arrives. It is a one-on-one for Jonathan.
Love it.
And so it's time for us to take flight. I don't know why they keep doing all these heights things. It's a lot. It's too many for one season, I feel like.
I know. The way they, Game of Roses says this, they said that they hate the lead now. Like Jen's afraid of heights, so no, every one-on-one date has to do with heights because they hate her. How strange. What a strange thing to do to someone who's trying to fall in love for allegedly the first time that we're finding out.
Yeah, right. One is fine.
Oh, yeah.
The bungee jumping, the skydiving, and now a helicopter in the past 3 weeks.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I think we need to get a little bit more creative. That was kind of
that's a lot for someone who loves heights.
Exactly. Someone who's not afraid. That's just too much in a span of 3 weeks. Doing 3 adventure shit with heights. Come on. Anyways, he meets up with Jen. They take this helicopter ride. He also was afraid of heights. And
helicopters, which same.
Yeah. What the heck?
Niggas be dying in the
literally. Yeah. Oof. So they ride from Auckland to some gorgeous vineyard. And then it's pretty easy breezy. They run around having fun. It is giving Friends vibes. I even felt it when Jonathan said it. I was like, I want to think it's more because Jonathan's so fine.
Yeah.
Them running around, I didn't see that extra from Jen that you kind of see with the other guys, you know?
It reminds me a little bit, not as much, with Michelle and Rodney.
Yes.
Yeah. It's not that bad. With Michelle and Rodney, it was Sesame Street. It
that
was
is
really
her,
bad.
Play school playmate.
Yes. Yeah. But I think it's, I think personally, that person who brings that childish side out of you is the best person to pick for your husband, especially when you've been through childhood trauma. I think that's the best person to pick.
Oh, okay.
Because I think it's more safe. Oh my God. I think it's safer to pick that person than it is to pick the person who reminds you of home. I think we hear that a lot.
We do hear that, yeah.
But the person who brings the kind of inner child out of you and makes you feel as goofy and silly as they both do makes you actually feel the safest.
And they trigger joy in you. Yeah, that non-judgmental, just triggers a pure joy within you. I think that is a good sign. So yeah, maybe that's what we're seeing.
Yeah.
Anyways, there's a hot tub, obviously. So
thank God.
Yeah, they needed it. They needed it actually here. And yeah, he shares his fear about coming into this date was just wanting and needing them to connect on an emotional level. She feels the same. She wants them to break past the like fun barrier. So after the nighttime portion of their date, they just talk about how comfortable they are around each other, and then he shares, why he has such a hard time opening up, and it stems from trust issues. He, had a girl, they fell hard for each other, lived together for 2 years, I think he said. We're looking at rings, and then like low-key she was an alcoholic, basically. And was dealing with substance abuse issues, and then in her like rages she would call him abusive and like gaslight him, and those words like haunted him and like really fucked with him. And Jen could relate because she also had a gaslighting toxic ex as well. Quickly back with the guys. Group date card arrives for everyone except Grant. So Grant's getting the rose, or God, Grant is getting the date. Sorry. And Mullet at this point, this is where he's really feeling behind in the process.
I think this is where he decided to leave.
He's like, what am I in his head? Because in their head they're like, all right, this next one is for me, or if I don't get this one, then it means this. They have to like do these calculations, and I think that's where Now, back with Jonathan, he also shares his mom was a single mom of 3. He always grew up, needing to be the strong one, hence why he doesn't really emote as easily. And she's like, I feel that. I went through the same thing. I was the strong one in my family. And so, yeah, they had a lot in common. They like definitely vibed on a more deeper emotional level. And so obviously she gave him the date rose. And then it starts fake raining on them.
That rain was so aggressive. I was like, what? This isn't actually the Notebook for real. Do we have to do all this for episode 7 of The Bachelor?
The producers got my Becky of the Week for this dumb shit.
Fantastic.
I don't really know why. I know why, like they wanted to create this making out in the rain kind of scene, but like it would make more sense if the date was like themed, like this is a rom-com date or something.
Oh, and they're trying to like
recreate the rom-com moments or whatever. There was no theme. It just started raining on them for no fucking reason. Like there was no context. Nothing was explained unless I missed something. But I was like, why are we doing this? Her hair looked great. Why did we just fuck it up? Anyways, time for the group date. Guys meet Jen at a sheep farm.
Oh my God, my ideal life.
There's more sheep in New Zealand than people. You know that fact.
I gotta go.
You gotta go, friend. So yeah, they go to the sheep farm. They meet the farm owners. They've been married for 45 years. All cute, hunky dory. And they're the guys obviously are going to compete for who's the best farmer. Because this has everything to do with Jen finding a
love.
husband.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Somebody was off this episode. I don't know what producer, what story editor was off.
Who was assigned this episode?
I don't know what was happening.
What the heck? And that's a guy, I'm just annoyed at this point. Particularly if I'm Mullet. I haven't gone on a date and now I'm shoveling dog shit or sheep shit.
Anyone's shit
for no reason. Like,
oh my God, Dylan and Austin were done.
Yeah, you could tell they look so fed up.
Dylan was like, what am I doing here on another group date? Doing pointless whack foolishness for 5 extra minutes with this girl.
Yeah, literally. So they gotta literally shovel sheep shit. They gotta corral these sheep. They gotta do all kind of dumb stuff. They gotta cut dingleberries. Drink sheep's milk, like all this gross shit. Of course, Pete Davidson is like stealing, little one-on-one time here and there. Everybody's salty about it. And then the owners, the sheep farmers, they announce that Pete Davidson is the best farmer.
There's literally no way that's possible.
No way that's possible. Everyone is like, what? He did the least amount of work. Every time they looked at him, he was trying to talk to Jen and get time with Jen.
Yeah.
And so the producers are obviously trying to give everybody the ill setup.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Because it literally made no sense. It literally made no sense. I would have been so pissed.
Me too.
He's already had a one-on-one date. They've established a connection. He's stolen plenty of time already before.
On group dates.
Why are y'all giving him this layup? Like, why?
Especially when if I don't try during this group date, then I look like a bad sport.
Yeah.
Because Jen is looking for somebody who's a team player. Like, my God, that would drive me nuts. I'd leave too, Austin. I would leave too.
I get it. Oh, so annoying. Now, time for the cocktail party. Austin is deflated.
Yeah, he's finished.
He got his stacks on deck. He's one of two guys without a one-on-one. He's the only guy who hasn't received a one-on-one or group date rose. Like, he's keeping track of everything, and he's starting to calculate, like, it doesn't make any sense for me to be here. Like, how am I going to surpass Marcus? Like, what's the point? So, anyways, Jen sits an old man River.
Yeah, what a weirdo. Why is she keeping him around, you think?
I don't really know.
I don't know either. I have a feeling he has like drama going on that we're not seeing, and the producers have him sticking around for some reason.
For something. He hasn't gone has he gone a one-on-one?
No, we know.
He's the other guy that hasn't gone a one-on-one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But weird moment. He kept petting her head, which was weird.
She's weird.
She kept pointing it out like, this is weird. Why are you petting me?
Yeah.
He talks a little bit about college.
He's a frat boy, obviously. He still has the vibes, just emulating through the television.
And then, just some revelation of his fear of loneliness or some shit.
No one cares. Like, I can't with this.
Oh, God. Now, Mullet, he is focused on this group date rose. Like, he really wants to get this rose. But I think he knows he's not getting it. So
Yep.
he goes to steal Jen, sits with her, and just tells her he just feels like he's playing catch up this whole time, and is like, I don't think it's fair to you or the other guys that I continue this journey. So I'm gonna head out. And very unexpected. You could tell she was like shocked. She did not see it coming. She thought he'd be here all day.
Yeah, which is the problem, Jen.
That's the problem. He's not going to sit here in the cut all day and get zero validation from you. He's going to go home. Like, you could at least throw him a group date rose or something.
Group date rose, you know? Girl. Oh my gosh.
Yikes. And so he heads out. I also do think he wanted to dump her before she dumped him, type of thing.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah,
I think maybe that's always a little part of it. I think the pettiness of it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Because we'll get to it, but when Dylan was standing there by himself, only eliminated just him, I was like, this is so embarrassing.
It's embarrassing by himself. But I think also with Mullet, like, he could have insinuated, like, in prior weeks, like, this is really hard, you know, it's hard not having validation, like, kind of cluing her into, like, this process has been really hard for me. And he didn't do any of that. He just kind of just, like, dipped. It felt like a move almost, like his last final move, kind of. Anyways, I have a would you rather, friend.
Sure.
Would you rather, you're the Bachelorette, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Would you rather have a Colton-like season where five of your
gonna bring him up? What an icon. He's the worst. He's garbage.
The worst.
But what an icon to have. I know. 4 or 5 girls
leave on their own accord. It's so crazy. I want to almost go back and listen to our recaps because this is pre him coming out as gay.
Yep.
And all the women left for a myriad of reasons, but I really want to.
Was it?
That's what I'm saying. I want to really go.
I don't think it was. I think they were all like, I think you don't like me.
Yeah. I think they were, feeling something a little different. Or, their gut was telling them something.
Yeah.
But anyways, would you rather have a Colton season where 5 of your dudes just leave for they don't feel connected to you or whatever the hell?
Yeah.
Or 5 weeks of your exes coming back?
Oh my God, 5 weeks is my exes coming back. Because I would be the new icon. I would be the new bad bitch. That would be like if Victoria Fuller was the Bachelorette.
Yeah, that's
I would live. Get her. I don't care who she's with right now. Get her really on the show.
I hope she's on a short list.
Every week she could have niggas come back.
Just for iconic reasons, let's have the exes come back for the story.
The status, for the story.
For the preview, the good clips,
Yeah.
Anyways, Jen is, now that Mullet's left, she's now starting to doubt whether she's enough.
Oh my God. Yeah, this was, she definitely, okay, right? And even the question you just asked me, you're thinking about the previous seasons now, and you're thinking about the reputation that these people have. You never want to be the Colton.
You don't, especially as a woman, you don't want to be the Colton. That is a blow. We're not used to rejection in the way that men are used to rejection.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Colton could like take it on the chin and be fine, but for you to start a trend of all these guys leaving, that would suck. Yeah.
So she doesn't want to be that either. And then I would think, if I was a bachelorette, and if I was a bachelorette who was a minority in particular, I would really look up to Michelle Young.
Okay.
Michelle Young never had anybody leave voluntarily.
No. Not that I remember.
And they all sat around and talked about how amazing and great she was and confident she was.
Yeah.
So once a guy voluntarily leaves, now you're down a notch. Like, now you're not going to live up to that expectation of that bachelorette that you are looking up to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You could see in her head she's like comparing, or like just thinking real deep. Because in my head, she was like, I worry if I'm enough. I was like, girl, ain't that serious? Like, weird. I was like, how did you get from here to there? But I think in her head, she's like comparing to former bachelorettes and like,
definitely.
Fuck. Like, I'm one of the ones where a guy leaves.
And he's gonna come back on Men Tell All. They're gonna put him in the hot seat. Why'd you leave? How did you feel when you left? It's gonna be like a whole thing.
Oh my God. Flashback. She's
thinking into the future. Like, fuck. He's gonna be in the hot seat with Jesse.
I know. But yeah, her, she's starting to doubt herself. She's starting to wonder if she'll end this season alone.
No.
I know. She goes back to the guys, shares, Austin went home, gets very emotional, and the guys just try their best to, reassure her. When she sits with Sam, she asks him, are you thinking differently of me now? Because she was like open with them about how like insecure she is about everything. I hated that she asked him that question.
So do I. She already thinks she's not enough for this man.
For this one in particular.
Yep.
Just I don't think she would. Just him. I don't think she would have asked that. We don't know, but we didn't see her ask this to like Marcus, right?
Yep. Or
even like Spencer, Jonathan. Yeah. But something about Sam and like the lure and the whatever she thinks he represents, or just his sex appeal, or I don't know if she thinks he's like too hot for her, or
that's what I was thinking.
One of those things. I really hope not, because she is way better looking than him, and he's good looking, but she's like beautiful,
right? Girl, all your hair is real. What? And then I think when your connection is based in the physical and based in lust, it's so flippant.
Yeah.
That we see this with Carrie and Big.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to our Sex and the City recaps. Go back and listen. We see this when the sex is so good, when the chemistry is so good and so thick, and then he's so conventionally attractive that any slip up of personality can seem like, fuck, I'm not enough. You know?
Yeah. Ugh, I hated that. I was like, don't ask him that. You're fine.
I know.
Yeah.
And what is he supposed to say? You know what? I do.
It did, actually. Like, what? So we see her with Sam. Then we see her with Marcus. Her hair was like in her face, looking all emo. Her head was down. Her hair was like covering her. I was like, girl, what is emo, Jen? And just talking to Marcus, she says, when I think of someone I can rely on, it's always you. I look forward to every conversation we have. And just gave him a lot of really solid validation. That was a lot. That's probably the most she's said to him at this point, at least. And then she has a nice little time with P as well. She ultimately decides not to give out a group date rose.
Can I just say really quick? Pete said, I don't know what she's been through to get her to this place, but I want to take her out at the moment. That's where he got my Becky of the week. Sir, I could tell you up and down about this child's father and how he made her feel when she was younger. You are not listening to a word she says. Not one word she says. What do you mean you don't know what she's been through to get her here? What are you talking about?
If there's anything we do know about her past, her her relationship with her father. So
and her toxic ex and her that like we know
plenty.
So what do you mean? Oh, God. Anyway.
Anyways. So yeah, she doesn't give out a group date rose. Basically says they like all made her feel assured and accepted, and she doesn't feel like it's fair to give a rose.
Oh my God. Could you imagine how Dylan and Austin feel?
I know. They're like, what do you mean it's not fair? Bitch, I'm sitting right here. I haven't gotten any validation. I'm right here.
I had a conversation with you for 8 minutes. I literally smell like shit. Okay. I had to sleep next to Sam M.
Yeah, I felt for them. Now, time for Grant's one-on-one date. Jen looked really cute. I love this little side braid.
I loved it too. She looked really cute. Yeah, I love the outfit too.
The brown leather jacket. Yeah, it was very cute. Now Jen knows she's very attracted to Grant.
Who ain't, girl? Join the club, take a ticket.
But she wants to know him, like who is he behind this face and blah blah blah. So they go horseback riding, have a nice little time. They sit outside on this cold, windy, rainy beach, I guess. I don't even know.
Was it a beach?
Beach or mud? It looked compact like wet sand, but it was super brown, like a really dark brown. I don't know where the hell they were. And they wasn't even really talking about nothing. They're trying to just like not.
They're just trying to speed up the day.
Blow away. Yeah. Time for the nighttime portion. We learned a lot about Grant.
Yes, so happy he stuck around.
Yeah. He shares that his father is an addict, has been an addict for nearly 30 years.
Yeah.
And how a lot of his childhood, he didn't actually know that his dad was an addict. And so, growing up, reflecting later, he just felt very lied to pretty much his whole childhood. Yeah. And then he shared a story, I think he said it was like right before the show, right before he went on the show.
Right before the show.
Dad got fired from his job, called him with the usual excuses. My manager did this, my manager did that, whatever. He flat out told his dad, like, I'm done. I don't give a fuck. And for whatever reason, that struck a chord with his dad. And his dad recently checked into rehab and has been sober 2 months now.
That's amazing.
That was a really nice story. And so, yeah, he just says like his motivation, his mission is to be the man his dad wasn't. Yeah. So he's like very self-motivated by that. And could really relate to Jen, who similarly can understand not having a father figure. And she then shared about, I think a little bit more about, I'm so curious about this toxic ex.
Same.
Oh my God. Because I think she was talking about her ex here, right? Where she said she would try to discuss racism or sexism or Asian hate. And
I thought that was her dad.
Always shutting her down. I wasn't sure if it was her dad or her ex. Okay. I feel like I missed something, but it could have been the dad as well. Okay. Because they were talking about dads. But then she was saying how she felt like she didn't have a voice. Like she didn't have a voice in the relationships. I wasn't sure. But yeah, she was able to bring up some big issues. I mean, didn't really get deep into it, but just like her, willingness and wanting to talk about racism, sexism, Asian hate within a relationship and having experience not feeling validated in those things. So yeah, her and Grant really connected. And he got the date rose, of course, and they made out a ton.
He impressed me a little bit on this
Me
date.
too. Yeah, I think so too. Like even, and it's not even just him having a sob story. Everybody comes with their sob story, whatever. But even just like her whole thing going into the date was like, I want to know what makes Grant tick, like how he is the man he is, type of thing. Right. I don't know if she said that to him verbatim, but he delivered with the way that he shared not even just his dad's story, but like who my dad is motivating me to be a man different than that. Like he answered the question that she came into the date with. I feel like, and talked very openly about his dad's addiction in a way that you could tell he's processed this.
Yeah. It was impressive how willing he was to share, and also how delicate he was at some points when talking about his father's addiction.
Yeah. Now time for the rose ceremony. All the guys, or I guess they're waiting for a cocktail party, so they're all sitting around chatting. Grant openly shares with everybody that he feels like he's falling in love with Jen.
Oh my God. Grant, you got to keep it to yourself.
Keep it to
You got to get a
yourself.
journal. Maybe they need a voice
Yeah.
memo journal, like a little walkie-talkie. They can put it in.
I know. Because I don't even think he's told Jen that he's...
No, definitely not.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like sitting on his spirit. He just has to say it to somebody. I know. I feel him.
Yeah, me too.
He has his rose. He's all hyped. Like, he had a great day. Like, he's... Can't wait to tell somebody. So anyways, a lot of the guys are hyped for the cocktail party, particularly the ones who haven't gone on dates or haven't seen her in a minute. Jen arrives looking amazing. I loved this dress.
Loved it.
Oof.
Oh my God, it was so nice.
I love the shade of purple. The dress also looked like kind of see-through.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know if it was see-through or if it was a nude illusion.
A nude illusion type of thing.
Sure, yeah.
But a really nice, like, strong purple overlay. But it just, I don't know, it was really cool. But yeah, she comes in. She said there's no cocktail party tonight. Doesn't really... Did she explain why? She just didn't.
She just didn't feel like it.
She didn't feel like it, and she knew who she was sending home. So of course some of the guys are bugging out. Meanwhile, Grant is outside with Jonathan, like sobbing. He is really in his feelings. He's falling in love.
Oh my God, Grant, get it together.
Oof, Lord. Yeah, something's going on.
Yeah, I feel like he's experiencing things for the first time.
Yeah. I did not expect all of this from this dude, like, at all. Anyways, time for the rose ceremony. We have Grant and Jonathan. They have roses already. Sam gets the first rose. Pete Davidson, Marcus, Old Man River, and then the final rose went to Spencer.
Why is Old Man River still here?
He is
so weird. Every time we see him, he's weird.
I know. And he hasn't gone a one-on-one date, so all we get are these, like, weird little clips of him.
Yeah. Is it production? They don't like him?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh, my Lord.
Anyways, gotta say goodbye to POC.
Dylan alone, front and center, alone.
Like, Austin left him hanging, yo. So embarrassing.
I hate it for him.
That really sucks. But yeah, get back to school. Thank you.
Yeah, you got to go back to school. I don't want to see you on Pop the Balloon or Find a Nigga or whatever the fuck that shit is called. I don't want to see you doing any of that.
No.
Foolishness.
That's your degree. We need black doctors. Thank you. Then, so that was the episode. We did get a preview for the rest of the season. We have Spencer saying, "I'm more ready than ever for an engagement." Old Man River tells her he's fallen in love. Grant says he's fallen in love.
How? Oh my God.
P. Davidson says, I love
you, Jen.
Woo. And it looks like they were standing outside of a home. They gave it all the way away. I was like, that's obviously hometowns. It was literally like a welcome, like, live, laugh, love sign at the door. It's like, what the fuck? We are at Devin's hometown. Why are you showing me this?
I am very intrigued. Considering these allegations, I am very intrigued to see what this man's home life is like.
What this home is like. We have Sam telling her I'm falling for you. So a lot of guys are going to drop the I'm falling for you little line. Then we see Jen sitting with her brother. So presumably when they do like meet the parents type thing or meet the family. And he flat out says to her, you fall for emotionally unavailable men. You know, you giving so much and he's giving so little. I don't know if he's talking about anyone in particular. I don't know if he's talking about in general.
Yeah, in general.
Then you have Grant saying he's feeling confused. Jonathan saying his fears are growing.
Yeah.
Marcus. This looks rough. Marcus is struggling. And he says to her, they're like,
oh, yes.
That moment? Yeah.
Like, what? Yeah.
They're sitting at dinner.
Literally said, I'm struggling. Yeah.
Says, I'm struggling. Says, you deserve all the love in the world, but I'm not there yet.
Oh, Marcus.
And then we see Jen just like piss. She's like tired of investing energy into people who don't feel the same. We see her telling somebody, I feel like my cup isn't being filled. I want this to work, but you know, yada yada. Sam crying, Pete Davidson crying, Jen crying. And then we see the moment that we've seen before where Jen is sitting with the hosts and she says, I'm done letting men dictate my relationships. And her at the final moment saying, I have to do what's right for me and I can't let you propose to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we have to look forward to.
Yep.
I think a lot of guys are going to fall for her.
I think so. I mean, it's easy.
Yeah.
I think she's very fabulous.
Very fab. But it seems like a lot of guys are going to start falling for her, saying the things. Yeah. And then as it gets closer, then they're going to be like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I can get there.
The second she says like, oh, and, validates that feeling, they're like, wait, I didn't have that feeling for real. Are you for real? Whoa.
Wait a minute now. Yeah. So we'll see. Poor Jen.
I know, poor Jen. There's so many MAGAs left.
Yeah.
There's so many of them.
Too many in this cast, and so many of them left. Jesus. We're talking Pete Davidson and Sam, right?
Yeah.
And I think people said they found stuff on Marcus too. That make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes I read the DMs and I gotta just like, you know what? Because I'm gonna hate everybody in this cast if I read every goddamn thing that they've been posting.
Yeah.
Lord. Anyways, Justine, what did we learn this episode?
He's a smart guy.
What was your question?
Well, speaking of, should you bring up socio-political issues with the contestants of color or with the white contestants first? Obviously with the white contestants first, because you could be sitting in Houston at Devin's house in front of his mom,
wearing a Make America Great Again t-shirt on.
Okay.
You didn't know, none the wiser.
Nope.
A mess.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I remember, I think it was Rachel Lindsay said in an interview that during Fantasy Suites is when she asked all of her, political questions and whatnot. But yeah, I couldn't even make it that far.
No, this is a one-on-one date conversation.
On a one-on-one date, absolutely. I gotta get straight to it because there's 30 men here and I got deal breakers.
Yep.
So yeah, to make it through the Fantasy Suite seems like a very long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to address those things with, I think, everybody in the cast, but namely the non-white ones or the non-POCs. Like, what kind of white are you? Are you a cool one or you hate me? Which one is it?
Right. You talk to everybody in your family?
Right.
All of them? I know.
Lord. Okay, my question was, do grand gestures mean shit? I think a lot of times grand gestures are just a little too little, like too little too late.
Too little too late, yeah.
And thus they lose all their meaning and you don't really care about them. I think Matt saying I love you now to Jen, saying to her now I want to get engaged, all it does is feel very selfish, not genuine, opportunistic, like it's not hitting in the way that he thought it would be hitting.
Yeah.
By letting everybody know I flew here on my own volition.
Yeah.
Great, but like this is real late, bro. Like I don't know. So I think grand gestures, they have a moment, they have a place, but I think all has to do with timing. Because as we see with Matt, you can fly to the other side of the world and say whatever you want to say. But if it's too late, it literally means nothing. And it meant nothing to Jen. She sent you home. You were there for 24 hours and it took you longer to fly there than you were there. I hope he turned it into a trip or something. And he missed a wedding or two, he said.
In Cartagena.
In Cartagena, you flew. I know flying from Cartagena to fucking Auckland was like 4 different like
flights and turnarounds. Yeah, especially if you flew yourself.
Especially.
Ooh, Lord.
So all of that, and it meant nothing to her because it was too late.
Oh my God. You said I love you. She rolled her eyes at you. We all did and made a video about it.
Yeah.
That she commented on.
Oh my God.
Matthew, please.
Matthew, please. Speaking of grand gestures, though, I would love for people to email us any grand gestures that worked for you. I want to know when they work. Not when they're too late, but when somebody did a grand gesture for you. Could be a relationship, could be a friend, like anything. And how it hit and why it hit.
Yeah.
Let us know. Email 2blackrosesandroses@gmail.com. Anyways, friends, this was fun.
It was.
Please join the Rose Garden on Patreon for more bonus content. Find us on Instagram, TikTok, rate, review, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.